Let's talk infrastructure. If you've ever found yourself wrestling with complex setups, you know it can get messy fast. Well, today, we're going to dive into a really elegant solution that brings order to that chaos: Terraform modules.
Does this look familiar to you? I bet it does. You've got your dev environment, your staging, your production, maybe a few others sprinkled in. They're all kind of the same, but not quite. So how are you supposed to manage all of that without completely losing your mind?
Well, you could take the hard path. You know, the copy and paste path. We've all been there. You duplicate your code for each environment. And hey, it works for a little while. But pretty soon you're living in a full-on maintenance nightmare. A simple change over here means you have to manually copy it everywhere else. Inconsistencies start to pop up, errors multiply. It gets out of sync so fast. But what if there was a smarter way to do this?
And of course there is. It's the Terraform module. Just think of it as your single source of truth. It's the key that's going to save you from that copy-paste headache for good. So what is a module, really? The definition is actually beautifully simple. It's just a container, a little package of resources that all belong together. It's like having a reusable blueprint for a piece of your infrastructure, say, a web server and its security group, that you can just stamp out over and over again.
And the payoff for using them? It's huge. You get these 4 core benefits. First, reusability. You write the code once, and you use it everywhere. Then, organization. You can break down a giant, intimidating system into smaller, manageable chunks. You get consistency, making sure all your environments are built from the same blueprint. And finally, abstraction. You hide all the complex little details behind a simple, clean interface.
Okay, so theory is great, but let's make this real. We're going to walk through a super common scenario: deploying a standard web app across 2 different environments, our dev environment and a production environment, using the exact same module for both.
And you know what? The whole process is actually pretty straightforward. It really just boils down to 3 high-level steps. You create the module, you define what goes inside it, and then you use it wherever you need it. Let's break that down.
First things first, you get organized. You'll create a special directory just for your reusable module. We're calling it web app here. And you keep that separate from the folders for your actual environments, like dev and production. This separation, this is the whole key to making it reusable.
Okay, next up, inside that module folder, you define your resources. But here's the trick. This is the secret sauce. You avoid hard-coding values. See that var.instance type? Instead of saying t2.micro right here, you use a variable. This is what turns your module from a rigid, static thing into a flexible, powerful blueprint.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment. It just clicks right here. On the left, in our dev environment, we call our web app module, and we just pass in t2.micro for that instance type variable. Then on the right, for production, we call the exact same module, but this time we pass in t2.large. We are literally using one blueprint to create 2 completely different outcomes. How cool is that?
So how does this all add up in the real world? Because this isn't just about writing cleaner code, it's about making your life a whole lot easier and making your infrastructure way more secure. This chart just says it all, doesn't it? By changing just one little variable, our dev environment stays small and cheap, which is perfect for testing. At the same time, our production environment gets the beefy resources it actually needs to handle real traffic. It's the same core infrastructure, just at a different scale, all thanks to that one module.
Now, think about this scenario. Imagine you discover a security vulnerability. Without modules, you are scrambling, patching a bunch of different files, and just praying you didn't miss one. But with modules, you update one single file, the module itself, and that fix gets inherited by every single environment automatically on the next run. That right there is the crucial point. Consistency is security.
So let's just recap what we've actually accomplished here. We now have different, totally appropriate configurations for each of our environments. We have one single source of truth for our infrastructure logic, and, if we need to spin up a new QA environment tomorrow, it's as simple as creating one new file and just calling that module one more time.
And this all brings us to the core philosophy here. What should be your new mantra: write once, deploy everywhere. It's a really powerful shift in how you think about your infrastructure, and it pays off big time in both stability and your team's efficiency. And let's be honest, maybe the most important benefit of all, you get to maintain your sanity. No more late nights hunting down configuration drift or trying to figure out why dev is behaving differently from prod. It's about building a system that's predictable, repeatable, and, well, sane.